Oh my God.
Oh my God.
If you come along this way, we'll open the doors and I'll just explain what some of the things are, because some of you may have forgotten details. What Julia has done is either we use the original things to the extent that we had them. Some of the things we haven't been able to find. If anybody ever sees a bit of American cloth, oilcloth, with the willow pattern on it, we desperately need just a little bit of that. We also need a really battered but huge old cruet. You know the cruets in the railway carriage in the LNER had bottles of fried balls, some 3-in-1 oil. It didn't have any oil or vinegar. It was 3-in-1 oil and windscreen. So if you see any of those, anybody who's got a contribution, I think we'd be very grateful. But we've got.
Daddy Longlegs too.
Of course, you're right, Daddy Longlegs that lived in the cruet. This is the original tricycle. He's got his real hat, his real specs, his real coat, his pullover and his trousers, and disgusting shoes. And if you look around, you see over there, Julia has made the linen basket, which is really a beehive, of course. And you remember that sometimes people or Dennis would put dirty clothes in the top of the beehive, and the theory was eventually they'd be washed, but sometimes if he ran short of something, then he would put his fingers in the popping hole of the bees at the bottom and pull out a pair of socks that had slowly got down to the bottom. So they hadn't exactly been washed, but they'd rested a while. And there's the Mullard radio that was permanently tuned in to wait for Friday night's music night. And he, of course, there was a radio set for Mullard that was always, it was something between Hilsum and Athlone. And he did once go to Droitwich, didn't he? But they didn't have very good programmes. So it was Hilsum and Athlone. Yeah. The typewriters, of course, we're hoping eventually we may even be able to accommodate some of the original typewriters. But you remember when Dennis was typing anything, he had a whole lot of typewriters because he had, for example, a company typewriter that didn't have an H. Then he had other typewriters that he used for punctuation and different letters of the alphabet. So he could take 5 or 6 typewriters to type one letter. And he used to do the punctuation first, and then fit the words in round the punctuation. And he had to be very careful using the O's, because he was a bit over-energetic as a typist, and he used to type the O so hard that it perforated the paper and it looked like a piano roll. All the O's fell out. The Peak-Freen biscuit tin, the original Peak-Freen biscuit tin is there, in which the family archive is kept. And you remember the episode in which Dennis thought that he'd found out who his father was, because he found a birth certificate. Do you remember the famous occasion when, because of course his father has always been a mystery, and his mother would never tell him. And he found his birth certificate, and it had all been torn up, so he'd only got fragments. But he was so happy, and Mr. South ruined his happiness by piecing the birth certificate together and showing that in fact it was a kennel club certificate.